Hello and welcome to another episode of This Month in Master Duel. My name is Ed.
And my name is Emray, and I'm very excited to be joining Ed for another episode.
We're here again in our Paris studio with not one but two rescue rabbits on the screen, which means you know things have gotten serious here. But for those of you who are joining us for the first time, the way this show works is we're going to tell you everything that's coming up this month in Master Duel. Hence, This Month in Master Duel. It's pretty self-explanatory now that I think about it.
Yeah, can't really argue with that one. Not only will we be recapping the past month's events, but we'll be looking forward to what is to come and show off some really cool duels.
Very cool duels. We've got some very exciting guests, which is one of my favourite parts of doing this show. But let's take a quick look at the schedule of what you guys can expect from today's show. We always kick off with a little 60-second challenge where Ibriz can talk to us about the last few weeks within 60 seconds. We'll go through some of our new selection packs. We always play our Guess the Percentage game where I challenge Ibriz by also using this very alarming sounding buzzer to really throw him off, where he guesses the percentage usage of some of the top cards in the game. And then also, like we said, we have some very exciting interviews and show duels for you guys to look at. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, so actually we have multiple selection packs. We have multiple duels, multiple interviews, and one big reveal at the end of this one.
So keep your eyes out and stick around for the end so that you guys know what's happened. So Ibriz, like we said, first thing we always do, 60-second challenge. Are you ready?
About as ready as I really ever am.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Straight in there. Okay, so the big thing from May was the selection pack Revived Legion. Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, of course, being on the cover of that. But what else was inside there? So the Horus-themed cards really made an impact in the competitive metagame. And actually, on top of that as well, speaking of cards that have made an appearance across competitive decks as a whole, SP Little Knight, as it turns out, really good card.
Very defining currently in the meta. It's pretty widely used. Maybe we'll talk about that and guess the percentage. What else, Ibriz? What else?
You
have 20 seconds.
Yeah. You've thrown me a little bit there, but you know.
That's my job here. 15 seconds now.
Talking about how cool SP Little Knight is. You know what else was cool? Secret pack. A full course of magic.
Okay, you now have 7 seconds. 6.
Forbidden Limited List was also
5,
pretty
4,
interesting to see.
3,
and also
2.
Tactical Tridex was the coolest thing.
That you pretty much sum them all up as bullet points. So let's go through some of the things that you just discussed. So first of all, Forbidden and Limited List. So last show, we saw Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils go to 2, and that's now down to 1.
Yeah, now Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, of course, being really good not only for the Snake Eye strategy, but also just in general for decks that happen to use that smaller package of the Wanted plus Diabellstar the Black Witch plus original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. Now, this going down to 1 is actually really impactful because it turns that from a reliable kind of 5-card engine to... Do you increase the amount of copies of Diabellstar the Black Witch to compensate? Do you just run it as 3, or do you forego it entirely? It really affects the consistency of what was quickly becoming a very, very usable and versatile set of cards.
And you mentioned Snake Eyes, and we've just seen Snake Eyes Ash go to 1.
Yeah, Ash not quite as versatile as Wanted, simply because Snake Eye Ash will only be seen in Snake Eye decks. However, while it is not as impactful as, say, Snake Eyes Poplar, it's still a go-to combo starter for the deck and remains really impactful.
Now, Sprite Jet has gone to 2.
Actually, that is, rather than a reduction of the available amount, an increase. And of course, it has been a while since we've seen Sprite. That being said, I still fear rank 2 Xyz. I still fear level 2 monsters in general, in part due to Maxi, our good old friend.
And then lastly, the one I've got written here, Sky Striker Mobilize Engage is now at 3.
Okay, yeah, so Sky Striker as well does function as a package in and of itself. Very reliable, consistent, and having what is considered to be the most impactful spell in the theme now available at 3. Is really promising for the engine.
I really like Sky Strikers. It's one of my personal favourites, obviously. Not as much of a favourite as Dinosaurs, but still. I'm sure people will be glad to see Mobilize Engage up to 3. So we're talking about the selection packs and the secret pack. Revived Legion, so like you said, Salamangreat, Raging Phoenix, and of course SP Little Knight. Very kind of meta-defining at the moment.
Yeah, I can't really forget about the Horus cards either, though, just because they brought tier elements back into contention. They function in and of themselves when combined with strong negation effects. And just the fact that they can control the flow of the game so reliably thanks to the manipulation of the graveyard while also functioning as removal is really, really good.
I'll tell you what else is good. Food. Like
Nice.
a full course of Magic where it had our food-based cards like the Suships and the Nouvelles. See? I segued that.
I can't really add on to that. Because
No, you
it
can't.
was- yeah, okay.
We cannot top
Delicious.
this kind of finale of a dish. And then, like you mentioned, tactical tri-decks. So these are basically loner decks in Master Duel in Ranked.
Yeah, essentially, these are a way of accessing more competitive cards for new players, for veteran players, for anyone that wants to try out a key selection of strategies. This is a way to do it.
I'll tell you what else is a good way to do it, by checking out this video. Tactical tri-decks. Try those tactical decks now with tactical tri-decks. I could do a TV commercial for these kind of
You
things.
could do your best at doing a TV commercial, given that.
So let's talk about these because they're quite defining sort of themes.
Yeah, all of them very distinct. Let's start things off just by discussing the Cyber Dragons. Now, Cyber Dragon, really cool. Have a lot of
Dragon.
monsters that happen to be named Cyber Dragon, whether on the field, in the graveyard, and really do a good job of swarming the field and overwhelming your opponent with massive attack numbers.
Very true, and definitely a sort of old classic sort of theme that people have always loved. So I know people will get a kick out of using those.
Kind of cool that we're seeing this as soon as we've, given how soon we've seen the Overload Future Fusion previously, just because
True.
when Overload Fusion and Future Fusion were both super viable,
Relevant, yes.
yeah, they were to reinforce the Cyber Dragon strategy.
And so now it all comes together quite neatly. But that's not the only one, because as well as Cyber Dragon, we have Eldritch. Now, I know this is definitely a deck that, during my time through Ranked, at a certain point in the meta, I really struggled going up against this deck.
How many times can I mention Dynamorphia just out the blue? Essentially, my go-to trap deck, but as you mentioned, this has been a very formidable one since pretty much the release of Master Duel.
And a really good one for people to use as a loner if they want to sort of get to know those kind of meta-relevant decks.
Not only the Eldritch cards themselves, but also if you want to experience how to play with cards that prevent your opponent from making moves and have you just control the pace of the game.
Skill Drain, Summon Limit, never heard of them. But then, the last but certainly not least, we have Live Twin or Evil Twin. I guess that's depending on whether you're a glass half full or glass half empty kind of guy.
Depends on the day, you know? Essentially, yeah, this deck is really powerful, and we mentioned the sprites earlier. This is another deck that fits them into it. And honestly, again, just swarming the field and being able to overwhelm your opponent with a lot of removal can prove really, really powerful.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys do try these tactical tri-decks, because maybe you guys can go all the way up to sort of the top levels of Ranked just by using these loners. I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of YouTube content of that kind of stuff, people taking them all the way.
Additionally, you can try these out in solo mode thanks to the additional gates that have been added to support them.
See? It all comes together very well. And so the next thing we're going to be talking about is our selection pack, Victory in Progress, which actually is really good for people who are wanting, you know, if you step away from these tactical tri-decks and you start trying to get more into the competitive building of decks, this is a really good selection pack for people to have.
Yeah, this pack pretty much comprises competitive cards that everyone will be glad to have now, especially that they're trying to qualify via the Road to Worlds. Diabellstar the Black Witch, such a good card that we mentioned earlier as part of the Snake Eye strategy and functioning as part of the individual engine with Wanted and Original Sinful Spoils. super, super valuable.
We have Water Enchantress of the Temple. That's another one that people are going to be noticing in there. You can see a lot of these cards down here.
Yeah, Water Enchantress of the Temple, of course, being part of the Adventurer theme, really, really good at offering some removal in tandem with Rite of Aramesir, which was on the Forbidden Limited list as well, being moved to 3 copies. Really, really excited to see that.
We also have punk cards.
We do have punk cards.
Some people have always sort of liked the punk stuff. And then as well as that, we have Effect Veiler, which just kind of very, very staple. So many cards have their effects now. Having an Effect Veiler handy is always a useful.
Yeah, Effect Veiler very useful at just, again, control, and denying your opponent what they want to do.
So make sure you guys get your hands on that when it is available tomorrow, so that you guys can... I'm sure quite a lot of people already have their Effect Veilers, but if you don't, and you want some of these things like the Dear Bellstar or the Water Enchantress, get your hands on Victory in Progress, the new selection pack coming tomorrow. But we have ourselves a special guest to talk about this selection pack and the impact of these cards that they will have. And so please welcome one of our amazing world champions, Emray. Emray, welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you guys?
You're very
all good. Yeah, really, really glad that you're here joining us.
It's always a pleasure, and we like having guests on, and we really like having you here, Emray. So,
well, evidently we like having him here, given the fact that he's been in
multiple times.
So many of these. Always really happy.
Always a pleasure, mate. So, like we said, we've been talking about our selection pack Victory in Progress. We mentioned Dear Bellstar, Effect Veiler, the Punk cards. We want to hear, as one of our amazing world champions, we'd like to hear what you think packs like this have as an effect on people's ability to build strong decks.
I think those kind of packs are really nice because they give access to all the good cards to all the players again. Like, for example, when the Bellstar came out and you maybe missed them, you now have the chance again to pull them, and I think that's really good.
So, Dire Bellstar, a very recent addition to Master Duel as a whole. The Adventurer engine and the Adventurer cards were a little bit older. Water Enchantress of the Temple in particular is one that we would like to discuss more in detail. Can you tell us a bit more about what the Adventurer engine and Water Enchantress of the Temple do?
Yeah, basically they have multiple applications. The most common one is people play the Adventurer engine in how I like to call it pals. So basically they do a bunch of stuff and end on Griffin Rider, which is an Omni-Negate.
Wandering Griffin Rider?
Exactly, yeah. And you can play them, for example, the new Horus cards. You can discard the Water Enchantress to get the King Sarcophagus, or to mill a Horus card off King Sarcophagus. And then you can banish the Enchantress for free, basically, since it can be banished from the graveyard and from the hand, to then make your Adventurer plays. So you can splash them into a lot of decks, which I really like.
So one of the cards that we just touched on a little bit is Effect Veiler. Now, Effect Veiler, sort of similar to a lot of those hand interaction cards, like your Ash Blossoms, your Maxies, ooh, scary. So how do you feel that Effect Veiler, especially with its availability in this, do you think it's a really useful card to be having in this current format?
Yes, Veiler is really good. It's like, in my opinion, like the 4th best hand trap at the moment. I think that Maxi, Ash Blossom, and Impermanence are better. But I think it's still like a stable at the moment. Like, you have to play it. And it being available again for everybody is just great.
That is true. And I think this entire pack, having all of those relevant cards, they just mean people get better access to it. Like you said, Dear Bellstar, if you missed it at a certain point, now's really your chance to get it. It's a great pack to have. Yeah,
really good opportunity to upgrade your deck ahead of, as we mentioned earlier, and as we will mention again later, the upcoming Road to Worlds qualifiers.
Absolutely. Now, Emray, you mentioned staples while you were telling us about that, and now I'm going to ask you two about the percentage usage of some staple cards. This is Guess the Percentage. I need to work on a cooler name for that. Do you reckon you know? I'm going to read you guys a card, and I'll let you both take a guess at a percentage, and I'd like you guys to get within 2%.
Is it first come or
No, you'll both give an answer. If it's the same answer, then fine, and then we'll give you points. And frankly, the points don't matter. So it's all just for sport.
Imaginary
anyway.
points.
Imagine it matters, but it doesn't. Okay, so the first card I'm going to ask you two about is Imseti, Glory of Horus. What would you say is the percentage usage of this card?
I mean, Emray uses it pretty much every other duel that I've seen.
I'm dragging it high, like... I have a number in mind.
I think it's a very versatile kind of engine, the Horus engine as a whole, and you need to run Imseti if you're going to be using that. However, I don't think that it is as kind of versatile as the Snake Eye cards, for example.
True.
As such, and with it being a fairly recent addition, I think we're floating around 30%.
Okay, so you're going to say 30. Emray, what's your guess?
22%.
Wow. It's 24.2. So I'm going to give that one to Emray there. I haven't had a chance to use the buzzer. You were miles off.
How is that miles off?
Because you said 30.
7.5%.
That's, 6,
Okay.
basically.
What?
Okay, the next question I'm going to ask. Now, this one is a bit more of a sort of well-known staple. Psi Frame Gear Gamma. Now, what would you guys say is the percentage usage of Psi Frame Gear Gamma?
Emray, first, could you tell me a bit more about Psi Frame Gear Gamma and its uses?
Yeah, basically Gamma is a hand trap that you can play paired up with Driver. Whenever your opponent uses a monster effect and you have no monster on the field, you can special summon it and a Driver from your hand or deck or graveyard to negate the effect and destroy the card. Gamma is a really good card. It's unfortunately at semi-limited right now. And you have to play a brick for it, Driver. But it's still a great card. It's really strong when it resolves, especially against cards like Maxi. It's often like curtains for the opponent.
Okay, so with that in mind, what would you guys guess as a percentage?
I mean, I do not see it as commonly as I see the other disruptions, as we mentioned Maxi.
True.
Emray mentioned earlier Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, Infinite Impermanence. I'd say this is around the 35% mark.
Okay, 35. And what would you say, Emray?
55.
I get to use it. You're on both of you, nowhere near. It was only 0.3% more than Imseti. It's 24.5% usage. Way lower than I thought, but actually Emray did raise the point that you have to play Driver with it, which that's just one extra thing that can lead to bricking.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think that might be why it's still seeing, quarter of the percentage, but it's not really the best choice, I would say. So the next one I'm going to ask you guys, relevant because actually it came in our previous month's selection pack, SP Little Knight. Now, what would you guys say is the percentage of SP Little Knight, especially now with its access after last month? Can see you both thinking.
So, Imseti released at the same time and was already at like 23% or so, and is way less versatile than this card.
So you think it's probably going to be a lot higher?
I think this is already going to be around 65%.
Okay, that's a good guess. Okay, and now I'm going to go over to Emray. What would you say your percentage guess for SP Little Knight?
I mean, it should be at around 100, but I don't think that's the case. I would say like 82, 81.
Very specific, but I like the way you're thinking. So I can tell you that actually the answer is 67.3. So you were pretty close. So I'll give that to you there, Ibriz.
I mean, I was shocked a little bit there that I was so close, but, I'll take it. Emray, actually, can you tell us a bit about SP Little Knight? Why it's such a good and versatile card?
I can give you 100 reasons why the card is so good.
The quick speed removal is very valuable.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you summon it off a card that's off an extra deck monster, for example, Fusions, Link, Synchro, XYZ, whatever, you can banish the card on summon. So what people used to do before SP was they would summon IP Masquerena.
Yeah.
And in the opponent's turn, they would use the effect of Masquerena to summon Unicorn, Nightmare Unicorn, to then discard a hand card and spin back a card. Now you can do it without discarding a card, and you can banish the card, which is even better. Also, going second, SP can clear boards. For example, you can banish your Slumberge, which is really strong. You can, if the opponent has Appaloosa, you can get rid of the Appaloosa by summoning it off an extra deck monster. You can use the effect, and then they chain Appaloosa, and then you chain SP, the second effect of SP, to then banish the SP and the Appaloosa. The Appaloosa will come back, but with the 0 attack.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's really cool. Obviously, because Appaloosa above the goddess relies on losing attack points to have.
Is it 800 reduced by?
Exactly.
It's 800.
Yeah.
So the attack points scale with the amount of materials used, and then you essentially pay attack points to have a monster negate.
Appaloosa is also once per chain as well, isn't it? I seem to remember. Am I right in saying
that? That's why SP can beat Appaloosa, basically.
Wow. That's a very useful card, because Appaloosa is one of those staples that I like using in my deck. So the fact that it's now gotten out, curse you, SP Little Knight. Right. So the next one we have is Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, another one from last month. What would you guys say is the percentage of that?
So we spoke about this a little bit last month, not only as the boss monster of the Salamangreat theme, but also because you could do some cool things with, or actually not cool, very hot things with Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, going into World Sea Dragon Zealantis, and Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. And essentially, with the way those interacted with each other, you had a way to essentially finish the game in a single turn.
This is all good, Ibris, but what's the percentage?
High attack value. Well, I'd say 30%.
Okay. And Emray, same question. What would you say the percentage is for Salamangreat Raging Phoenix?
So basically, I thought that everyone that plays Snake Eyes or Salamangreat would also play Raging Phoenix, and I think that's more than 30%. I think that's even more than like 50. But that would be too easy. So I'm saying 42%. But all of you should play it.
42%.
Look at that endorsement for Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. All of you should play it.
What was your guess again?
30%.
So I can't give it to either of you. 23.5. Quite a lot of lower numbers.
I mean, I was closer.
But then last and certainly not least, the question I love asking.
Yep, I already know what this is.
It sends the chat wild with desire for this card. What is the percentage usage of Max C?
Emray, you can go first for the first time.
95, 96. 95.
Oh, I should say for this one, I'd like you guys to get it to the decimal point. So it'll be 90-something point something. So what's your guess?
I'll say 95.5 then.
95.5. Okay, Ibris?
I will say 94.8.
I'm going to give that to Ibris because it's 94.6. So that's remarkably good guess. Yeah, very good. A good round of applause there. But that's up from 94.2 from last time. So it's getting more usage. It's creeping ever closer to 100% usage.
It is. And unfortunately, 6 is quite close to 8 when written out, and it makes it seem like I've looked at your notes, but I promise you I didn't.
Okay, well, I'll trust that you
It was just a good guess.
Now,
like, Maxi is a good card.
Thank you very much for playing that with us, Emray. And actually, one of the last things we're going to talk to you here about is we actually filmed a cheeky little duel with you, which is going to be very exciting to see. It's yourself versus Quantal, another one of our world champions. So thank you very much, Emray, for joining us. But we're now going to take a look at our cheeky little duel here. A little bit of a showcase duel between Emray and Quantal.
Hello, hello.
Well. I guess I'll go first.
Wow.
Again.
No. We do not accept this. It's fine. What's the worst that can happen?
Surely you will open no hand traps.
Yeah, surely I will have no hand traps. Hand traps would be bad. Oh, okay. Horse. Picked Armageddon Knight. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea what Armageddon Knight is doing in your deck, but I guess we'll find out. Yep, that's fine.
I mean, surely you have something, right?
I mean, surely I have something. Ooh, it resolves. Nice. I like that.
It was a really good play.
Playing around Gamma, yeah.
Playing around Gamma.
Let's see.
You know, I have to think. I don't want to like overextend, but I can't end on nothing.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe I bricked.
Surely you rigged.
Okay, the Sense Vision Resonator, okay.
I had a really good hand. I mean, it's still really good, but
Maybe not so much into Maxi.
it makes it really hurt.
Okay, adding Vision. So you're just making Baron stuff with that, okay.
Exactly.
That's cool. It's been a while since I've seen Armageddon Knight.
You can do a lot more, like crazy stuff.
Obviously,
But not under Maxi.
I mean, you could, but just give me a few draws.
You know what?
Oh, we're going in.
I'm going in, yeah.
Okay.
I'll accept the challenge.
Okay. We're going in with our combo.
My mama didn't raise a quitter.
She really didn't, huh? I hope this is not everything, right? Yeah, okay.
Well, I can play around one nip. I can also play around that. Okay, I thought you maybe had another one.
Sadly, I didn't manage to draw another one.
My Magna will resolve.
Okay. I have a
Yeah,
lot of
now
cards in my hand.
Let's see what you got. Do I want to get rid of Baron? I mean, the Baron does nothing anymore. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going now. Interesting. Ooh, going for happy.
Now you can remove my cards one by one.
So I'll start with Terra Top Auto Top.
That's fine.
Okay. Add Tachyton board. And that leads me to special summon another Tachyton board.
Oh, I should think again. I think that's also fine.
Okay. We'll summon Mirage Stalio.
Yeah, now I have to read.
Ooh, okay. Okay, going for Druid Worm.
Should have maybe changed, like, use IP and then change Reform, but I think it will result in the same.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's fine. Which Link Monster will you go for?
I mean, there's only one, right?
I mean, there are a few.
There are nowadays there are multiples, but I think this one's the best.
It is a good one. That leaves not a lot with your board.
I mean, you still have like 10 cards in your hand, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Didn't roll.
We'll add a Sound Grade Foxy. And then we'll get rid of the Foxy.
Did you play when Salaman Great was like?
Yeah, I played in 2018 and 2019.
Okay. I didn't, so.
Ah, I see. I don't know how much of an advantage that gives me, but we'll see. Dappaloosa is actually quite annoying, I must say. I mean, I'll try to use Foxy here.
And I'll use my Galaxy Eyes.
Okay. Okay.
So now I have 3 negates left.
Yeah, you do. Next I'll try to special summon Sound Grade Weasel from my hand.
Hey, wait, you added Jack Jaguar, didn't you? And
Yes.
if I negate your Weasel now, your Jaguar can run over my Appaloosa. But you know what? I'll still do it. It might be a bait, but it's a good bait.
Okay. Also Jack Jaguar.
Who would have thought?
Crazy! Well, I have to go battle phase here, because I technically can play through it, but it would make my board a lot worse. I definitely won't be able to be ending this game right about now yet. Okay, I'll activate Bale and Gazelle.
Of course, of course.
I mean, Gazelle is at 3 nowadays, and I did draw a few cards. Next, I'll use Gazelle effect. I'll be sending to grave some Great Rage. You did get rid of Mirage Dalio, which is slightly annoying.
You only play one?
I don't know, maybe I only play one, maybe. Maybe.
Starlight Wolf is a card that I know.
Well, yeah, I hope you know it.
There's the... I see.
I'll use my wolf, adding back my gazelle. You know, 2018-19 things. I'll use Spinny now. Actually, I shouldn't have used it now, but it's fine. If you had Nibiru, you would have been able to use it about now already.
I'm pretty sure you know my card in hand. I mean, you don't know, but I think you know.
I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't. This is slightly annoying because I can't really go for a Weasel play. Because actually, can I? Maybe I can actually. No, I definitely can. I just found the line. I'm definitely not learning the deck while playing, don't worry. Okay, I'll weasel away your King Sark. That card is very slightly annoying.
And there goes my follow-up.
Yeah, that's not the only thing I'll be leaving. This Galaxy, no, it only has a protection with Photon as material. And it has no materials, so...
You mean the hidden effect?
I mean, it's not really hidden, it's the first line of text.
It's a hidden effect.
If you want
It's hidden in my books.
Sure. If you want to call it hidden that way, yeah. I guess it is hidden then.
Ooh, Raging Phoenix.
I'll give you a...
Can you give me a princess?
I'll give you a Foxy. I can't give you Princess, sadly. It has to be a Salmon Great.
Thank you.
I'll use Bailings to protect my Raging Phoenix and revive the Princess. Sadly, it is May Phase 2, so...
All you still have like 9 cards in your hand.
I mean, this is a one-card starter deck, so... It is how the deck works, sadly. Don't have a lot to add here, I must say. But luckily I do have a few cards to set. You know what? You can go.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Then. Okay, I'll use my Crimson Gaia first.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
No problem. Always gotta help a friend out.
Then I'll summon... my vision resonator.
Okay, no summoning it. Okay. I don't know if you play any level 5 synchros. I don't think you do. But we'll
Really?
find out. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe. I'll find out.
And then I'll link them off into
Okay.
a little light.
SP Little Knight. Interesting.
And then I'll just pass my turn.
Ah. Hmm. Well then, I'll go to my turn. Interesting. Well, I'll start off with Effective Weasel, the special summon itself.
I'll train my little man.
You know,
Sorry.
some would say one of my cards. Most people don't know this card's second effect.
You mean the hidden effect?
The hidden effect of Summon Great Circle, which I'll target my rage with. Which will make it unaffected by monster effects for this turn.
I see. That's no problem. My little knight is still gone, so my field is empty, and that's very important.
Ah, I see. Interesting. Interesting. You know, I don't mind.
You don't mind?
No.
Luckily, we didn't draw the driver.
Luckily you didn't. Luckily I can use Princess.
Now you can
And
just-
I can use it targeting a monster that so happens to be protected now.
That's crazy.
Because it doesn't specify only opponent's monsters. Well, next I'll use Princess effect.
Well, what are you going to do about my Veiler?
You know, I might as well. I prefer having my Princess resolve.
Well, now as you see, you can do whatever you want, and I can just watch it.
Yeah. Well, I need to think about how I can actually end this game quicker. I mean, this definitely helps. I'll use Foxy, pitching one my Gazelle. Definitely not my one of many, don't worry.
I think that's game on board, isn't it?
56. Yeah, it is game. I'll end you quickly.
Should have maybe summoned the driver in the deck, but I don't think it really matters.
It wouldn't have mattered. I haven't normal summoned yet. You know, I feel petty, so I'm gonna use Sanctuary. Which does have a secondary effect as well.
You mean a hidden effect?
I mean, it is a hidden effect, I guess.
GG.
GG's.
And now we're joined by another one of our World Championships and the winner of that last feature match that you guys just saw. So we've got Quantal here coming and joining us. Welcome, Quantal. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, we've just seen you win in that last match. How does it feel taking on another one of your world champ teammates and friends, and destroying them so thoroughly for the show?
Emray is always very dear to my heart with winning the worlds with him. It always hurts when I have to play him in a duel and beat him so thoroughly.
It didn't work out quite so well for you last time we saw you two face off.
Oh,
at
the Invitational, yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose, it's got to happen at some point for the show. So the reason we've got you here is to talk with you about Lord of Dimensions, our upcoming selection pack. So why don't we start with what that's going to be based around?
Yeah, so Lord of Dimensions, of course, bringing a few key themes. We have the Odd Eyes Archray Dragon, of course, leading the charge, being the cover monster of the pack. In addition to that, of course, the Fire Kings, just in case you hadn't seen Garunic's Eternity.
Yes,
just behind
over our
us.
shoulder, yes.
Yeah, the Valmonica theme as well arriving, as well as a couple of other cool cards.
So the first one we're going to focus on is, like you said, the cover card of this entire pack, Odd Eyes Archray Dragon. And it is a beautiful bit of art on this card.
Yeah, and the main appeal of this card is that it lets you access Supreme King Zark's effect again, and lets you essentially destroy all of your opponent's cards
again and again, which is always very useful and very good in this format. So we're going to ask you a bit about this, Quantal. What are your thoughts on Odd Eyes Archray Dragon?
Archray is really cool. So usually what you do with this is just you tribute over the Zark and get to access any pendulum monster from your deck to your pen zone, which is just absolutely really powerful, especially with supporting the Supreme King archetype, which will be very good in making sure that that deck is maybe a potential threat.
I mean, I added it to Dynamorphia, so
you know it must be good.
Yeah.
Now, we do have some synergy to show off with this card, so let's take a look at one of these little charts so that you guys can see exactly how to use these. So why don't you go through this, Ibris?
Yeah, pretty straightforward one here this time, Ed. Soul of the Supreme King, that trap that lets you access Supreme King Zark, and then essentially you're utilizing Odd Eyes Archray Dragon as a way to extend the duration that you have access to the Supreme King Zark's effect. Quantal, do you have anything else you want to add just regarding that?
No, that is perfectly explains to how powerful this card is. It's just does everything that Zark does and better.
That's very true, and like you say, a nice short and sweet bit of synergy there with one of those cards, because sometimes we have 2 to 3 slides long of this card into this card into this card. So it's nice just to see Zark.
Salamangre Raging Phoenix does have a pretty long but rewarding combo.
Certainly, and you guys saw that last month. But the next one we're going to talk
about, the previous duel with.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's already been displayed. So the next card we're going to talk about is one you did mention earlier, Celatrice Valmonica. So we're seeing a bit of Valmonica come into this pack.
Yeah, Valmonica, of course, being super reliant on their field spell, but having a good amount of removal available to them. Quantal?
I mean, Celatrice is really good with giving the deck more, just another starter, another extender, just more consistency to make sure that you get all the pieces that you need to get maybe the angel or just any piece of the Valmonica engine, the spells, just
cool.
Useful
just
card.
A powerful all-round card.
Very powerful all-round card. And now the next one we're going to talk about, sort of within the world of pendulums, Exceed the Pendulum.
Yeah, Exceed the Pendulum, of course, just really valuable for allowing these pendulum decks to access the higher link rating cards.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, it lets you access more pendulum cards, which, of course, pendulum decks love.
They certainly do. Do you have any thoughts on this card, particularly, Quantal?
I mean, it's a powerful end piece board, especially, or combo piece for the new pendulum archetype. So after you go through beyond the pendulum, you can just upgrade her into Exceed, which is just you can add any card from the extra deck to your hand, or a special pendulum monster from hand or grave, depending on the pen skills.
Yeah, and earlier today, we did allude to Garunik's Eternity, Hyang of the Fire Kings, if you couldn't tell by what is behind us. A lot of really good and accessible destruction here.
Talk to us a little bit about that. Like, so this is the kind of thing that people are going to see quite a lot, maybe. Within the, especially in this, people are going to want to see this.
Yeah,
it's
quite a bit.
All over the marketplace, etc.
The Fire King's actually really good at kind of supporting the Snake Eye strategy. Of course, we'd seen Snake Eye with Rescue Ace, we'd seen pure Snake Eye, and especially now that we're seeing limitations on Snake Eye Ash and the Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, it doesn't quite delegitimize the strategy of having pure Snake Eyes, but having an additional option and a way to play it by having the Fire King cards is really cool. And Garunik's Eternity, Hyang of the Fire Kings, is pretty much the Fire King monster.
The Fire King monster.
The Fire King.
Quantal, any thoughts on the Fire King monster, Garunik's Eternity?
I mean, it's a powerful retrain of the original Garunix, which I mean, it destroys all cards, I believe all other cards and all other monsters, and also then floats into more bodies, depending on how many materials it has.
That's very useful.
So I actually think we have a combo graphic for this.
We do. Now, is this one going to be short and sweet? Actually, relatively short and sweet.
A little bit, yeah. And, you know, we did just mention the original Garunix. And
yes,
there
indeed.
it is. So Fire King Island, very, very good field spell. And actually, we're seeing the Horus theme that we mentioned earlier and that we saw last month integrated into this combo as well. So what you want to do is get that Garunix out, then use the King's Sarcophagus to get Imseti, Glory of Horus, to the graveyard. Then you activate the effect of that, get it back to the field, and then exceed them both into Garunik's Eternity, Hyang of the Fire.
Now, we brought up Imseti earlier. Do you remember its percentage usage?
23?
24. So you were nearly there.
Quantal is sad now because he can't play the game with us.
No, that's true. Sorry.
Next time, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps next time. Well, next time we'll get you involved in some guest percentages. But that is basically all the cards we're going to talk about in Lord of Dimensions. That's going to be available tomorrow.
Yes, it will be. There was one more card just there in the graphic. We have an additional Sky Striker card.
Oh, do we? Which one's coming? Tell us. Tell us all.
Well, time will tell.
Time will tell. Maybe you guys will have to find out tomorrow when this becomes available. So make sure you guys do go and check it out. But thank you so much, Quantal, for coming and joining us with this. But Quantal's not going anywhere, technically, because right now we're going to show off another exclusive duel, this time using the tactical Tridex. Take it away.
Well. Guess who it is again? The second match. Okay. The second one, right? I hope.
Yeah, the second one. Those are some interesting.
Okay. Oh, this hand's actually good. I did not expect that. Wow. Well, Northern Lilla effect.
That's fine.
I'll special summon Live Twin Physical Frost.
That's also fine.
Okay. Next, activate Live Twin Sunny Snitch.
That's fine.
Then I'll add Little Treat. And special summon Little Treat. Then let me double check my extra. Okay. Make Gigantic Sprites.
That's fine.
And use Gigantic Sprite effect.
Well, I have to stop that.
Oh, that is disappointing. that does limit my plays.
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear.
Okay, I'll use Eva Twin Pisco.
Do you have access to sprite cards, or didn't you draw any?
I mean, I guess you'll have to find out. I mean, I may not have sprite cards in hand right now, but maybe I'll draw one.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully I do.
Why are you so silent?
Oh, am I? Wait, let me talk.
No, I mean like
Oh.
after you drew a card.
Oh, no, it was not so good. It was not so good. I didn't really think it was that great. But you never know. Go ahead.
I really need the heart of the cards now.
Interesting. I don't know. There's one card I'm really scared right now of.
I can't imagine. So I'll start my turn with Izikuru.
Oh no! No! Wait, that's literally everything! No!
Then I'll activate Cyber Dark Realm.
No.
Okay.
I will not let you do that. Oh my god. Oh my.
Well, looks like I have to end my turn.
Okay. Powerful. That is some powerful energy. That scared me so much. Well, I'll add Lila.
You know, it's like everything all over again, right?
I mean, I only have 6 cards in my extra deck, so I wouldn't call it everything, you know? I'll just keep the Jizakura on my field, because I, in fact, don't want to get Kaiju'd again.
I should have maybe set one card, but I'm really scared of a second
Cosmic?
Cosmic, so I didn't set any cards.
That makes sense. Ooh!
But I might need my cards still, like next turn, if I draw a play. If I draw a play, you're cooked, by the way. I can't tell you that much.
I'm scared. That scares me.
But you're not scared of Gords, aren't you?
I'm not scared of Gores.
Double cross. Yeah, okay, I guess I lose.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know Double Cross could do that, but
I had a Cold Pie. I had a Cold Pie in hand.
oh wow, yeah, Coldpie would have.
I didn't set it because I didn't think that you could beat me. So I wanted to hold it for next turn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
GG's.
GG's indeed. Live Twin there just topping out over Cyber Dragon. But you guys can get your hands on those tactical tri-decks now and see how far you can go with those in ranked mode. Now, speaking of duels, I'm not good at these.
Well,
sometimes I've got to really, really work for my segue. So I'm going to try. Give me a moment. Speaking of duels,
Okay.
you guys do dueling, and you guys are the amazing community behind Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And how do we celebrate the community? With Challenger Cups. Did it. I nailed it. We're fine. So everyone knows about Challenger Cups. If you haven't taken part in one, highly recommend that you guys sign up for them. Tell people who maybe don't know what the Challenger Cups are, Ibris.
Well, Challenger Cups are essentially these influencer-run tournaments for the community across Europe to take part in. You can win some really great prizes, you can play against some of the best players in the region, and you can just overall enjoy dueling.
You certainly can, and if you enjoy dueling, let's speak to someone who really enjoys dueling and has hosted many Challenger Cups himself. We're going to hear from Basti, who's got some highlights for us for Challenger Cups.
Thank you, Ibris. Thank you, Ad. Indeed, the Challenger Cup spring season is coming to a close soon, and I'm here as your live reporter, looking at some cool gameplay action from this season, so let's get into the action of that. First and foremost, we're going to see Chimera summoning Guardian Chimera. There's plenty of new Chimera cards, and it is now definitely one of the regular competing decks in Challenger Cups. But the Guardian Chimera, of course, still the ultimate boss monster of the deck that is helping him, for example, here against the Labyrinth strategy. It's not only the new decks dominating in this Challenger Cup season, though. For example, we had Spiral, one of the older decks, also having a pretty cool showing here in one of Josh's Challenger Cups. We see them going for one of the biggest, one of the craziest end fields I have ever witnessed, to be honest. And that one definitely was enough to win, let me tell you that. Quick side note, we had the biggest 3v3 Challenger Cup so far in this season as well. So if you like playing as a team, better join. One of the, if not the most impactful card of the season probably has been SP Little Knight. And that leads to the situation that sometimes even two SP Little Knights are staring down each other on each other's side of the field. One of the biggest contenders for Snake Eye decks and for Rescue Ace decks has been the Pearly strategy, still making sure to now with E Pearly Noir getting to X Pearly Noir as quickly as possible. But when there's X Pearly Noir and when there is a way to search a level 1 fire monster, there is Kurikara having a pretty decent impact on the format right now as well. Last but not least now, I have a real heart of the card moments. That happened to Tupac in one of my Challenger Cups. He is down to 0 cards, only 300 life points. And he's facing down a field of Borrowed Savage Dragon and Baron de Fleur, but he draws Lava Golem for turn when his opponent is only on 1,000 life points. Meaning now, he has 0 cards in hand, 0 cards on the field, but still in his opponent's standby phase, that Lava Golem is going to seal the deal for him, winning it from there on, making it into top card through that draw. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick catch up on the Master Duel Challenger Cup spring season. Lots of great tournaments, loads of cool duels. You guys should be joining the action soon. But for now, I'm sending you guys back over to the studio. Thanks, Ibris. Thanks, At.
Thank you, Basti. It's really cool getting to see the community being highlighted like that. So if you guys do want to be featured maybe down the line, make sure you guys are taking part in Challenger Cups. Now, Ibris, last show we were talking about Challenger Cups and we put forward to people a very exciting poll.
Yes, indeed we did. So you may have seen in that video that was kindly presented by Lampy that Baron de Fleur graced the spring season of the Challenger Cup.
Which makes sense.
Now, we let the community, you guys at home, actually vote for which monster will represent duelists across Europe for the summer season.
And obviously they were all fiery themed.
We had Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. We had Emperor Charles the Great. We had
Flamberge.
Yep, Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon, and we had Rescue Ace Turbulence. And now we are very happy to announce which one of those came out on top.
Drum roll, please. Imagine a drum roll here. And the winner is Emperor Charles the Great. So you guys are going to be getting that as part of your amazing prizing if you take part in the Challenger Cups. But I should also mention that it was very, very close. Flamberge Dragon was almost going to be the prizing.
Yeah, really, really excited to see this actually applied here because you can see how good that looks in the bottom right corner.
It does. And like sort of like we've been saying, it sort of really does represent summer as sort of perfectly as you can. You know? So very exciting. So make sure you guys do sign up to your nearest or soonest Challenger Cup and see how you guys can fare. Maybe we'll see you on one of our highlight reels and maybe you'll get your hands on some Emperor Charles the Great prizing, which will be very exciting. Now, we're almost at the end of our show, but something we should tell you is that tomorrow we have a show coming out, which is very exciting for us. It'll be the second time Ibris and I have done that, and that is the Road to Worlds live stream, 7th of June, 2024, where we're going to basically be talking to you guys about how you can qualify for Worlds with all of our digital titles, Duel Links and Master Duel.
Yep, and join us at 6:30 p.m. BST on that 7th of June date.
But that is going to be it for us. Do tune in for more Worlds information, and hopefully we will see you guys next time for this month in Master Duel.